On your way to Verbo Bond, you stumble across an uncharted cave. You come through the entrance of the cave and the floor quickly turns from dirt to slate. The walls transform from natural rock to layered brick and stone. The air grows heavier with every step you take. There is no question that evil lurks here.
You can create up to 5 adventurers for your party. In this tutorial, you only have one. For now, when a character is selected, you will see a blue selection ring around him and his portrait beneath. To select a character within your party, you can press the numbers 1 through 5. Each number corresponds with a specific character in the party. Left-click and drag to form a square around the character or characters. Left-click on the character. To move your character, left-click anywhere on the ground and your character will move there. If you have clicked on a location that he cannot find a path to, you will see a flashing circle where you have clicked.
You enter the room and notice a chest against the wall. You are surprised to see this chest is in such good repair. You also notice a sturdy door to the northeast, also appearing in much better condition than the walls surrounding it.
As you wish.
Pinlock the chest. The chest is locked. When a chest or door is locked, you will see the text, "Locked," float above it. Since you don't have a key, you must pick the lock in order to open it. All skills, spells, and other special actions are accessed from the radial menu. To open the chest, you will need to access your Open Lock skill from the radial menu and then select the chest. Here is how this is accomplished. Right-clicking brings up the radial menu. Hovering over the spokes of the radial menu reveals a new level from which to choose. Hover over the Skills tab, looks like a hammer and an anvil. And then left-click on the skill, Open Lock. This will close the radial menu. Left-click on the chest again and the player will begin trying to pick the lock. A floating message will appear above the chest displaying either your success or failure at picking the lock. You may not always get it on your first try. If you have the skill necessary, just keep trying and eventually you will.
As you wish. At once.
If you have successfully picked the lock, left-clicking on the chest will open the looting interface and will reveal the chest's contents. Now, to loot, on the left, you will see the chest and its contents. Here we see there is a sword and a shield inside of this chest. You just need to drag each of those into your character's inventory. Once these items are in your inventory, you can equip your character with them. Just drag each one into the designated slots on your character sheet. There is one slot for the weapon and another for the shield. Notice that when the item is in your inventory slot, you are able to inspect it. Let's check out the shield and then the sword to see the details. Then return them to the equipped slots. Note, you may also right-click the items rather than dragging them into place. If you right-click the item, it will automatically go into the correct slot. Before we leave the character view, let's look the different features here. First, notice below the equipment slots, there is the money slots where you will find the gold and silver pieces you collect along your journeys. Below that are the hit points, experience points, all of the attributes such as strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. To the right of that is your current level, character armor class, and the 3 saving throws, which are Fortitude, Reflex, and Willpower. Height and weight is not filled in for the tutorial. At the very bottom shows your initiative, speed, primary attack and offhand attack, if you are ever wielding 2 weapons. Now up at the top, we have 3 sections. One for skills, another for feats, and the third if for spell slots. We will just skim through each of these briefly. So now, as you will recall, we have looted the chest and you have inspected each item and equipped your character. Click the red exit arrow in the lower right-hand corner of the interface. This will return you to the game.
Just as you round the corner, you see a giant rat in the next room. The creature seems thin and malnourished, even from this distance. Even though he may not be at full strength, his size and hunger might make him a serious threat.
Combat rules. Combat with the giant rat has begun. Combat is based on turns, so each side must make the initiative roll. In this case there are only 2 combatants and our hero has scored a higher roll than the rat. Scoring a higher initiative roll tells us which character will start the combat and the sequence that the remaining combatants will get to act. At the top of the game screen you will see pictures of the combatants in order they will act. A blue border highlights which character has control of the next battle action. Once all of the characters cycle through their combat turns, the round is over and play starts over and continues until either the enemy is defeated or all of the player characters have been eliminated. Action bar. The action bar meter on the left shows how much time is used during your turn. As you can see, it is divided into halves. Typically, a character can take up to 2 actions during their turn. These can be selected from an attack, a movement, cast a spell, or a change of weapons. Since the character can make 2 moves on the same turn, the meter will help you keep track of how far you can go before you can no longer choose a secondary action. So, in general, if you keep the bar in the green then you know you still have the second half of the turn for casting a spell or swinging a sword. More looting. You have successfully killed the rat. You can loot items from dead creatures just like we did with the chest in the other room. Just click on the dead body to check for loot. Typically, animal corpses don't have loot, but in this case there is a key that the rat has swallowed. You will need that key to open the locked door to the northeast. When you loot the key from the rat, it will go to your key inventory in the logbook. All keys that are found in the game will automatically go to the logbook. Let's take a moment to look through the logbook. Here we can find a log of all our quests, reputations we may have with townsfolk, a section on ego which lists the defeated opponents, our key inventory, and a list of any rumors we have heard. While we go along in our adventures and quests, we keep an updated map. Let's click on the map to see where we have been so far in this tutorial. Note that there is no world map for this tutorial. Before we go any further, let's look at the rulebook. Here we can find answers to any questions not covered in this tutorial. It is good to note that these are rules for the version 3.5 game, so it may be a little different from what you are used to.
Yes, sir.
When you open this door, you immediately notice a well of some sort that is in the center of the room. Leaning against the interior wall of the well, you can make out the tip of a ladder.
Passage icon. A passage icon is like a portal to the next room. In this room, you see the small icon of a ladder. This is the passage icon. Left-click on this to be transferred to the next area.
Okay.
Passage icons in the game could be next to a door, ladders, and passageways. Dialogue tutorial. When you get to the bottom of the ladder, you find yourself in a room with another adventurer. But it is a good thing that she only wants to talk. Typically, if you are in a group, you will want to select the best talker in the group to be the speaker. For dialogue communication in this game, you will be provided various options for your responses. You will want to try to keep true to your party's alignment rules as much as possible. In the game, there will be opportunities to bluff or intimidate the other person. Great, you have made a new friend, and if you followed along in the dialogue you found out that she is a wizard and she has joined your party. Notice that she is now at the bottom of the screen next to your image. Now, spellcasters need to select spells and rest for 8 hours before they can memorize them. So for now, let's get Ariel to memorize her spells and then we will be ready to continue with the adventure. Ariel now has her spells selected and placed in the level slots. But she still needs to rest for 8 hours before memorizing them. If we go back to the utility bar again, we will see that the tent icon is now green. That means it is safe to rest in this area. Another need for rest is to recover lost hit points, and you can rest safely as long as you want when the green light is on. If the color is yellow, it will still allow you to rest, but there is a chance of being attacked while you are sleeping. But sometimes you have no other choice. Now that Ariel has memorized her spells, you should adventure deeper into the dungeon. To select all members of your party, left-click and drag a selection square around both of them. With both of them selected, you can now move them together. Once you have the entire party selected, click on the ground as usual to move them in unison.
In the next room, you find another ladder leading deeper into the dungeon.
As you wish.
Just as you step off the ladder, you see something in the next room. Even through the dim torchlight, you can make out 3 creatures with muscle and bone protruding from rotting holes in their skin. They are tearing furiously at a corpse in front of them.
You don't need to wait for a creature to see you in order for combat to begin. You can gain the advantage by attacking first. Magic users and archers are great for this type of attack. Now that Ariel has her magic missile spells memorized, she can use these as a sneak attack into the next room where zombies await. Click on Ariel's radial buttons again and find the magic missile spell to cast it. Due to Ariel's level, she can cast 2 magic missiles in one turn. And you can select which zombies to attack. You can attack 2 different zombies or hit the same one with 2 missiles. Now that the battle has started, and Ariel has struck first, take your
Okay.
fighter in to finish them off.
As you wish. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There is loud groaning and shuffling heard coming from the room ahead. It is obviously another large group of zombies. Maybe much larger, and the smell coming from that direction is almost unbearable.
Okay.
You have found a wand of fireballs. This is a very powerful item but can only be used by the magic user. Fighters are not able to use magic wands of any sort. Let's give this to Ariel for her to use.
Of course. As you wish. Okay. At once.
You have discovered a glowing red gem whose worth is beyond calculation. Many adventurers would kill to possess an item of such value.